Carole King didn't look like a revolutionary. She didn't smash guitars. She didn't preach. She didn't chase headlines. But behind that calm voice and gentle piano was one of the toughest survivors of the music industry's ugliest decade. The 1970s was sold as an era of freedom and creativity. Behind the scenes, they were often ruthless, especially for women. Carole King watched managers lie, producers steal credit, executives manipulate artists, and powerful men take advantage of silence. She rarely named names publicly. But through interviews, memoirs, songwriting credits, and quiet refusals to work with certain people ever again, a picture emerged. These are the figures and archetypes Carole King came to despise most, the people who embodied the worst behavior of the 70s music industry. 5. The Credit Stealers. Carole King started as a teenage hitmaker in the Brill Building, writing songs that defined an era. But too often, men took the spotlight while women stayed invisible. Publishers and producers routinely took partial songwriting credit, downplayed her role in arrangements, framed her as just a girl at the piano. King later admitted she didn't even realize how often she'd been minimized until she finally went solo. By the time Tapestry exploded, she had learned a brutal lesson. If you don't protect your work, someone else will claim it. She never forgave those who built careers on music they didn't truly create. 4. The managers who saw artists as products. The 70s were the age of mega managers, men who treated musicians like inventory. Carole King hated this system. She clashed with managers who pushed constant touring despite exhaustion, prioritized image over mental health, treated musicians as replaceable assets. King believed music came from emotional honesty, not pressure. When managers tried to rush albums or force trends, she quietly pulled away. Unlike others, she didn't explode publicly. She just stopped playing the game. To her, anyone who valued profit over humanity wasn't just wrong, they were dangerous. 3. The producers who controlled women's voices. In the early 70s, female artists were still told what to sing, how to sound, how to look, what emotions were acceptable. Carole King pushed back, especially against producers who tried to polish away vulnerability. She wanted cracks in her voice, natural piano, songs that sounded lived in. When producers tried to fix her sound, she resisted. She later described certain studio environments as quietly hostile, where women were treated as interpreters, not creators. Those men didn't scare her, but she never trusted them again. 2. The rock stars who thrived on chaos. Carole King was never impressed by destruction disguised as genius. While some male rock stars were praised for addiction, abuse, emotional recklessness, King saw damage, not depth. She openly disliked the myth that cruelty equaled creativity. In private conversations, she reportedly dismissed several celebrated figures as grown men refusing to grow up. To her, emotional intelligence mattered more than swagger. Anyone who romanticized chaos, especially when others paid the price, lost her respect completely. 1. The system that silenced women. The biggest scumbag of the 70s wasn't a single person. It was the system itself. A system that paid women less, took their songs, controlled their narratives, punished them for asserting boundaries. Carole King survived it by outgrowing it. She stopped chasing approval, stopped explaining herself, stopped letting others speak for her. Tapestry wasn't just an album, it was a declaration. I am the voice. I am the writer. I am the authority. And that terrified the people who depended on women staying small. What Carole King taught the industry. Carole King didn't expose scumbags with scandals. She did something far more powerful. She took ownership, stayed authentic, outlasted them. Many of the men who underestimated her faded. Her songs didn't. At 80+ years old, her legacy is intact, not because she played dirty, but because she refused to. Who do you think defined the worst side of the 70s music industry? Do you think things have truly changed, or just gotten quieter? Drop your thoughts below. Subscribe for more real rock history. And remember, the loudest legends aren't always the strongest. Sometimes, the quiet ones win forever.